I wanted to do a video to go through the details of what I did to this 1955 International Farmall 100. I bought the tractor as a hobby. I don't own a farm, don't plan to own a farm, and I was able to restore it to its full operational capability. Quite a bit of work, learned quite a bit, learned as I went along. Going back, had I known what I do now, I'd probably do some things a little bit different. But I do want to get the summary because I do plan on selling this particular tractor. It's quite rare. It was the number 66 off the assembly line, and they only made, I believe, about 135. And I'll show you those details at the end of this video. I started with rebuilding the transmission. The transmission was filled with water. Gears were rusted. Oil thrower was broke. Replaced it. Forks were frozen, had to be disassembled, rust dissolved. All bearings, seals were installed. All the gears were polished and cleaned to get all the rust off. Power takeoff was also in miserable condition, filled with water, but it's fully functional now. Took quite a bit of work to do the power takeoffs. I didn't know much about them, but I learned as I went along. Replacement fenders from salvage, period. Previous fenders had been gouged out, apparently cut so maybe an implement could go back from right to left. Rear wheels, reconditioned this particular rim and put new tires on the tractor. The old ones were badly cracked, as you can see from the previous videos. And this particular I believe it was this one, particular rim, had a crack in it, and when we took the tire off, found out water got inside over the years, completely ruined it. So I was able to get a salvage period rim for the tractor. Quite delighted about that. We'll go from back to front. New steering wheel, that's aftermarket, and steering knuckle right here from salvage that was badly worn. The touch control system was badly rusted. Barely functioned, but it's fully functional now. Put on a new temperature gauge for the touch control system. The previous one had been removed. New amp meter for the 6-volt charging system. New starter switch. Actually, not a starter switch, power switch. Oh yeah, don't forget the final drives. Had to rebuild both of those. They badly leaked oil, and all new seals, all new bearings, and also on brakes, all new brake pads. The wiring harness is was rebuilt, got that from a rebuild shop. It looks nice. The breathing control element, the original one that was on the tractor, was not period. It had been, apparently the previous one I guess was damaged, and so I was able to get the period breather from JP Tractor Salvage. New manifold, not a new one, a salvage manifold. The other one's just badly rusted. Carburetor. My attempt to rebuild a carburetor myself was a failure. It continued to leak gas, so I sent it off to this carb rebuild shop, and they did a great job, and it's back on there and runs just fine. Generator rebuilt, 6 volts. Aftermarket water pump on the when I got it didn't work. You'll also notice the hood ornaments. These hood ornaments are quite expensive. I had the 100, but I did not have the International, and so I paid dearly for the original period logos or emblems. And on the front, you can see the International Harvester correct period hood ornament. Let's see, what else we got on this side? We got the steering arm. The ones that were on previously were damaged, had been cracked and re-welded. When I first got the tractor, the rims were in deplorable condition. They had to be replaced, so early on I bought aftermarket rims, but then decided I didn't want aftermarket, and I was able to find 2 salvage period rims for this tractor. Alright, let's see, I think that covers this side. On my YouTube channel, I've got numerous videos of me going through the rebuild process. If you're curious as to how it worked or how my work went, and it's authenticated quite thoroughly. And the videos are all short. I don't go into a lot of long wind. I give you the details and nothing but the facts. The gas pedal, for the, I don't know if that's called a gas pedal or not, but when you're driving it, if you need to get a burst of higher RPM, you push this and it immediately throttles the governor. The rod here was broken, so I did a little retrofit there. I thought about having a rod remanufactured, and if it takes me a while to sell this thing, I probably will. Battery box, there was no battery box, so I was able to pick up one from Tractor Salvage again. Starter had to be completely rebuilt. A new starter switch, new oil gauge as the other one was leaking, all new ignition components. The thing did not have a temperature gauge on it, and it just didn't make sense because I can't operate an internal combustion engine without a temperature gauge. So I went ahead and put one on there. Interesting, the tractor did not come with lights, so I did not reinstall lights on this tractor. I want to keep it the way it was. Steering gearbox had to be completely rebuilt. It was filled with water, and all new seals and bearings. And not necessarily happy with the play that I have here, but it's about a quarter of a turn, and so I tried my best to get it as tight as I could. Let's see what else we got. We got the hand crank. I tried using it one time. The thing scared me, so I didn't do it anymore. Notice the dust covers on the steering, and all those have been greased. And let's see what else I got. Oh yeah, the grill had some spot welds done on the inside to hold it together, and the radiator had some repair done to that. And there's a video on that on my YouTube channel. Let's see what else we got. I think that is about it. I'm going to post another video showing you the serial numbers of the tractor and showing you the casting codes and show you the parts that I replaced on the tractor as I went through the rebuild. All for now. Been doing some more research on the tractor and the authenticity. Been chatting with some people, and I needed to confirm the casting codes on key components or match the year that this tractor was supposedly produced, because apparently in the resale arena and collecting hobby, there's fraud that takes place where people will assemble different tractor parts of different years and pass it off as a genuine rarity, in which it is not. So I've got an education. This is off the website. This is what a casting code looks like, and you can see the number 826Q, and that would equate to a tractor, or that particular component was manufactured on the 26th of August in the year 1947, corresponding with a Q. My tractor should all have letters for the 1955, the letter A. So I went and tracked down all the codes I could find on the key components for this tractor, and everything lines up perfectly except for one, but the main items, the block, the transmission, the clutch housing, the differential shaft housing, the right final drive and left final drive, were all manufactured in 1955, and more specifically, most of this was put together in April, with probably the birth date being April the 12th. The only outlier is the hydraulic block, which sits on top of the tractor, and it was manufactured, it's code F, and if we go back to our little chart, bring up F, we'll see that that is 1960. So everything matches up except the hydraulic block, and speculation is from some of the experts says that the hydraulic block was probably damaged at some point, and so they replaced it with a newer one. I also learned that it would probably be wise not to paint this tractor, being that serious investors don't want to see a newly painted tractor. They want to see it in the raw. And being a collector of coins, and my wife watches American Pickers, they say anytime you touch to try to alter the appearance of a genuine antique, that devalues it. Well, that's all for now. I want to give a little background on the serial number on this tractor and how many were manufactured. I got the information from the original Farmall 100 series, 1954 through 1958, by Guy Fay. And here is the page. And you can see by the rub, the serial number plate's 566J. And right in the center, International 100. Mine 1955, 505 to 574. So you can see how many were made in 1955, and a total from 54 to 56 is about 135 tractors. If you're interested in more information on the on this International 100, my YouTube channel is Johnny Kicklighter, and like I say, I've got numerous videos out there detailing the restoration process. And if you want more details, my email is down below, johnnywkick@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.